Hey guys, I'm Elliot. This is Everything Elliot, and behind me I have my 2017 F350. What's going on with this is I have some binding in my steering. You'll go to turn the wheel if the wheel is at 0 degrees. You go to turn the wheel left or right, and it's hard to turn, like it's binding, and then you get past it, and then it becomes easy again. You get about halfway through the steering wheel, binds again, push through it, becomes easy again. I've been doing some research online. It could be a couple things. Mainly the front U-joints that are behind the wheel here attached to the axle, or the steering dampener. Sometimes the steering dampener goes bad. I have greased and inspected the U-joints down on the axles, and I've actually taken the steering dampener off, tried it, and it's still persisting. So the last thing that I'm going to try on my own before I give up and take it to the dealership is inside the engine bay here. There is a steering shaft that goes from your steering wheel down to your steering box, and in there is a U-joint. I'm almost wondering if that's the U-joint that's seized. So basically what we're going to have to do is take a look, see if I can get at it from the top. I don't really think I'll be able to. So we might have to take this front driver's side tire off, the inner wheel well off, and get at it from there. So right there, and this little bar that comes out of it, that's your steering shaft. You see it comes through the firewall and goes down, and it doesn't look... Oh wait, there's the U-joint right there, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the U-joint that we're going to be inspecting. Oh, there's a good picture of it. Maybe we can get at this from the top. It looks like it'd be tough. So what are we next to? See, I can't see what I'm doing. I'm looking through the camera, actually. But that is the U-joint. And what's next to it there? Is it a shock tower? So I assume that right there is the shock tower that it's right next to. And what I think we're going to do is pull this wheel liner out, pull this tire off, and really get in there. So I'm going to get my truck up on the lift, get it up in the air a little bit, rip this front driver's side tire off, and we'll be back with you after that's done. So there's actually two U-joints. There's one, man, it might be tough to see. So there's one right there. Kind of try to get the camera to focus for you guys. Move up a little bit. So that's one right there, which looks pretty ugly, to be honest with you. And then the other one that we were already looking at is, there's the yellow one. That one looks nice and clean. So let's see if we can do this without taking this wheel or this fender out. That one might be a little tricky to get to, and I might have to get my my assistant out here to turn the wheel while I tap these. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some penetrating oil, spray the ever-living heck out of those things, and then I got a brass punch I'll be able to put in there, and hopefully just give them each a little, just a little tippy tap, and have my assistant, aka my wife, turn the wheel while I do the next one. So what I'm going to start doing is I'll start spraying those with penetrating oil and let it soak, spray it some more, let it soak, then go get my wife. Penetrating oil I'm using is homemade. Let's see what it says here. The old Rust Buster. If you haven't seen my video on how to make this stuff, it really, really works well. And I'll put a link up top. Check it out. You know, it's easy to make, homemade. Come on, Squirty. There you go. Oh yeah. Just don't be scared. You're not gonna hurt anything. Get her nice and greasy. This is just a mixture of acetone and ATF. ATF lubes, acetone breaks things up. All right, let's go get my assistant, see what happens. Minor update for you. My wife is currently doing yoga. If you're married and your wife's doing yoga, you know as well as I do, you do not interrupt yoga time. So I've got 15 minutes to wait until she's done with her little downward dog and rising sun. So I'm just gonna keep spraying this thing. I should say that if you are gonna do this on the ground, you're gonna need to turn the wheel, and to make your life easier, you should probably put the whole front end up on off the ground. That way you can turn the wheel with ease and you're not digging the far side into the ground, making it harder on yourself. So I'm gonna get back to spraying, and hopefully when she's done with yoga, we'll be turning the wheel and hammering away. Yeah, stay right there. I need another set of hands. No. Stay where you are. I'm just trying to get this light to balance. And I'm not using a brass one anymore, so I'm just going to do it nice and light. Don't want to ruin anything. Okay, spin to the right. Stop. Spin to the right. Stop. Okay, spin to the right. Now this next one I'm about to do is the one that looks super, too far. Go back a little bit, right there. This one I'm doing right now is the one that looks nice and rusty. I'm guessing this is the cap that was held up. So you don't feel any resistance when you turn it now with the truck off. It should be harder to turn the steering wheel with the truck off. You don't have the help of the power steering pump. I know it's hard, but does it get harder in a certain spot? You don't think so anymore?
I feel like you need to come test it out.
Come test it out?
Yeah.
Aren't you my assistant? So Michelle's going to the bathroom, and I think we need to tap it with a little more gusto, so I've brought out the medium-sized hammer. I don't want to get too buck-wild and break this cap, but we'll just keep tapping along. Again, I don't think it's the top U-joint, for the simple fact of the top U-joint is super clean. I don't see any rust on it anywhere, and on this bottom one I can see some rust. And you might say to yourself, how do you know all this? And I'll tell you how I know it, because I got a good buddy named Ryan Komar that I gave a quick call to, because there are some U-joints in the axle that I greased up, thought it might be them. I think I mentioned this. The steering dampener, it wasn't that. Called him up. He knew exactly what it was right away. Told me this is what I got to do. And I couldn't find any videos of it, so I figured, hey, Elliot, help the people out. Give them what they need. Let's solve their problems. And that's what we're doing here today. All right, so since we're going to introduce some heat, we're going to just start with the bad one. So we're just giving her a little heat with a propane torch. Nothing crazy. Don't want to light anything on fire. Don't want to get too buck wild. All right, now that we've warmed her up a bit, let's give her some more taps. Okay, turn to the right. You only feel it in one spot though when you have the truck off, huh? You want me to test it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright folks, after I tested it, the truck seems to be performing much better than it was. And what we're going to do next is we're going to grease it. So hopefully that prevents the problem, and then the grease will even work in, make it easier and easier. So what I have here is just my regular grease gun with a needle point on it. And I'm going to have my lovely assistant turn to the left a hair. Good. You just take this in there as best you can, which might be proved to be difficult with my light. Oh, there we go. And we're just gonna grease it. Grease is cheap. Don't be afraid to use it. All right, so there we have our universal joint. You can see my blue grease. Lovely assistant, can you turn to the left for me? So you'll see the universal joint turning there, and I've packed that whole thing with grease. Yeah, just keep going. You just keep that nice and greased up there. That grease will work its way into the caps, and you should be in good shape. Now, while I'm in here, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to grease this top universal joint that's up there that you can't see. So I'm going to do that off camera. All right, so it's all greased up now. We got the cap loose, and like I said, thanks to my buddy Ryan giving me this pointer on how to do it. I'm just going to put the wheel back on, get it snug back down, take it for a ride, get it through a few rotations, turning right and left, and make sure everything's rocking and rolling. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I hope this video helps you. Like I said, I couldn't find any help as to what the issue is. Everything that I looked up either said the steering dampener or the U-joints that are behind the axle here, or that are on the other side of the axle. So while you've got it up in the air, it's a good idea to grease those. And there's just a simple Zerk fitting right on the U-joint there. Hook your grease gun into it, give it a couple pumps till you see it come out of all the caps. Well, anywho, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.